exactly how we want them.
Definitely.
All right, let's get to the last topic. The UFC this week. I am so excited. So I'm going to quickly break this down. First of all, UFC 249. This is, I think, the fact that the UFC is coming back first, the fact that they are able to do this is going to give them a greater foothold in American sports and global sports, because they are a global company and have an outreach globally that's huge. But I do think it's going to bring in fans that typically would not watch the UFC this weekend because there's nothing else on. And I have to say, Dana White and the matchmakers over at the UFC put together a near perfect card if you are a first-time watcher, because you are going to literally see just a plethora of different styles, of different fight techniques, of just everything. And I mean, the top 3 fights on this fight card. I mean, we have Donald Cerrone and Anthony Pettis in the prelim fights. That's how good this card is. They are the prelim fights. And those two, both, whenever they're on a fight, it's a must-watch fight. They're both phenomenal fighters.
I mean, Donald wasn't in the primetime fight with McGregor like 2 UFCs ago.
Yes, and he's on the prelim. That's how great this card is. I do hate Greg Hardy being on this card. I distinctively said, and I'm going back on this, whatever, I need to watch sports. I would never buy a pay-per-view that Greg Hardy was on, just out of principle, because I hate the guy for what – they even gave him a shot. But – because I don't think he earned redemption. But whatever. Yeah. That's just my opinion. But I am going to buy this card. 3 fights that I'm excited about. You have Francis Ngannou versus Rosenstrike. This is a fight of just pure power. Rosenstrike is a guy. He's 6'4", 242. He's got a 78 reach. This dude not only can deliver a punch, but he can fucking eat them. If you go back and watch his last fight against Overeem, there's a punch in the second round that he takes, and Overeem literally looks at him like is shocked he didn't fall, and he doesn't even fucking move. Like, he doesn't even throw he could have easily, if he had just followed up, he may have really not, because he just dropped his kind of hands and didn't move.
Yeah.
The other guy just takes like a pause, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Yeah. Like, he has an insane chin and can deliver a punch, which is going to be good, because Francis Ngannou is the apex of what human being physique is. This man is insane. If he had been born in America, he'd be playing on Sundays, without a doubt. He's 6'4", 255, 83. He is a freak. His uppercut is easily take your head off. Like Michael Bisping once. Yeah. Michael Bisping once said he's the Mike Tyson of the UFC, and I fully agree with that statement. He drops some fucking A-bombs and is like, this is a fight. If you want to see 2 guys just stand up and go fucking at it, this is the fight. Francis Ngannou knocked out. His knockouts are viciously insane. He has visibly gotten better fight to fight. Every fight you can legitimately, he used to be homeless a couple years ago. Like, his story is phenomenal, worth looking into. But you can visibly see every fight he's fought, him getting better, him refining his skills, huge jumps. So this is an awesome fight. If you want to see the UFC in that stereotypical version of just guys going at it, this is the fight.
Well, I think you've kind of convinced me, just for fun, to maybe just put some money on Rosenstrike, because he's plus 230. I mean, just for fun, I might have to do it.
I'm going Ngannou on this. That's my pick.
Yeah.
I think Rosenstrike leaves himself to some vulnerabilities, but dude, it's going to be a good one, because Rosenstrike, he could win this fight, and he has a chin of steel. It's insane. And he's a great counterpuncher. That's where he does some work in. He's a great counterpuncher. So it's going to be an awesome fight. Then you follow that up with Dominic Cruz, oh my God, I can't pronounce his last name right now.
Cejudo?
Cejudo. There we go. Jesus. That's so bad on my part. I apologize. Henry wants to be known as the greatest combat fighter in the world, and he's very much on that pace. He's a gold medalist winner. He's the only person in the world to ever win a gold medal in wrestling and then win a UFC title. He won it at flyweight. Then he said, fuck it, I need to up the stakes, went to bantamweight, won a title there. Fighting Dominic Cruz, you can't talk about the bantamweight division without Dominic Cruz. There is nobody like Dominic Cruz. If you have never seen a Dominic Cruz fight, He's not going to wow you with power, but he is the Energizer Bunny from hell. He does not stop moving. He is like a matador in the ring. He is elusive as hell, sticks you and keeps going. All of his fights pretty much go to decision. He's only lost one fight. The problem is he hasn't fought since 2016, which makes me nervous.
Ooh,
yeah.
Jesus.
But he's got a 4-inch height advantage. He's got, I think, a 4-inch reach advantage. He is extremely good. His technique is phenomenal. His footwork is phenomenal. He's elusive as hell. It is poetry in motion with him. There is no other fighter that does it like him. TJ Dillashaw sort of has it, but it is something completely unique in style. He is a jittery man. That's going to be an awesome fight. I lean a little bit towards Dominic Cruz in that one. That is one, though, flip a coin, bet whatever you hit on the heads or tails, because that one's going the distance, I think. But Dominic Cruz, he is special, and he hasn't fought in a while. He is a fun fight to watch. And then they finish it up with just the cherry on top, Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. I know. I am pissed we're not getting Tony Ferguson Khabib right now. Yeah. And it is a huge risk that he took this fight because Justin Gaethje is no slouch. But if you've never had the pleasure of watching a Tony Ferguson fight, for all fans that are new to the he's a savage. I mean, he does things in the cage. He is control and chaos. It is, his movements are unpredictable. He makes you incredibly uncomfortable with the way he fights, to be honest. He's throwing things that you will never see any other fighter throw. He's incredibly creative. He gets stronger as the fight goes on. He likes to fight hurt, honestly. I, honest to God, believe he enjoys it. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. Some of his prior opponents are I don't think Tony Ferguson really starts to get going until you, cut him up. He is a monster. And so is Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is another guy that is let's go to war. He is the epitome of it's not how big the dog is, it's how big the fight in the dog is. That man just wants to go at it. He can drop bombs. The whole fight card is phenomenal. That fight, though, is beautiful. It's not Khabib, Tony Ferguson. Don't get me wrong. It is not that. And that fight would be way better. But it is the perfect replacement for that fight. And if Tony Ferguson gets through this, then I think we're going to get Khabib, Tony, because I don't know how they don't make that fight happen after Ramadan.
I just remember when Tony fought Anthony Pettis. It was the bloodiest fight I've ever seen in my life. I was like, are we going to die?
That is what you're going to get. That, I think, is a very good point to bring up. Fair warning to all you new UFC fans. Expect to see blood in that fight. There will be blood. That is going to happen. That Anthony Pettis, Tony Ferguson fight. Whew, man.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It was bad. That was bad. Dude, that was the Rosenstrike. Rosenstrike won. There's a fight right now. His last fight I was talking about is on ESPN right now. He won in the final 10 seconds by knockout, split the dude's lip in a way that I have not seen. It was just open in a flap. It was so bad. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be pure. And then you got Greg Hardy on the card, who, while I don't like the guy, and he's not a very skilled fighter. Anytime he fights somebody who's really skilled, he gets overmatched, but there's a lot of power on this card. There's enough power on this card to fucking fuel New York City right now. It's insane. This is a phenomenal card that you are going to see some phenomenal fights. I cannot wait. I would say too,
will be nice.
Yeah, my bets, I think I'm going Francis Ngannou, but if you bet Rosenstrike, it's not a bad bet. Anything can happen, especially in those two fights, or those two fighters. I think I'm going Cruz, but it's literally I'm 50.5% convinced he's going to win, 49.5% convinced he's going to lose. Flip a coin, go with that. And then I think I lean Tony Ferguson because he is, like you said, he's crazy. He's absolutely crazy in the cage. There's nothing like Dominic Cruz. There's nothing like Tony Ferguson with what he does.
Yeah.
He is a unique savage among other savages.
Yes, he is.
It's incredible. He's an absolute animal. Did you have anything you wanted to go with on that?
No, you covered it way better than I would have.
All right. Well, it's going to be a great one. Definitely buy in. I'm going to wrap this up with a fun little fact that I learned this week.